Today we're going to, of course, talk about arpeggios and scales. So before I get into it, some of those arpeggios and scales are going to look like this. So you'll hear in this song, I will start off with this major arpeggio here when the solo comes. And this is just simply a G sharp major. And you'll hear me follow it up with a G sharp Phrygian dominant scale, and that's what that is, starting there on the third. So now, of course, as if you've seen this with this guitar, I'm always down a half step, and I'm going to be in drop D for this as well. So that'll be the first arpeggio / exotic scale that you hear. And when you hear this in the music, it's going to go up to the actual dominant harmony, up to the 5 chord. And so that's why I'm playing all these dominant Phrygian licks. And on dominant Phrygian, on those things, we can get away with doing lots of different exotic scales. We can get away with doing different types of arpeggios. And so I'm about to go over the second set is going to come in here, and you'll see it'll do this one more time, or it'll do this start off the same. And I'll come in and harmonize that, and then I'm going to follow this up with a series of diminished arpeggios. So that's going to sound like this. All right, at speed it'll be. All right, you'll hear like that. So the diminished form I'm using there is just the one where we're going to start on. You go up by threes, it's like a 3 or like a 2-1-2 pattern. So I'll do for that. This is actually going to be. I think of this as like an F sharp fully diminished arpeggio that's just going to keep going up in minor thirds. So, anyways, we'll start here on the F sharp, on the 11 up to the 12. 13 on the next string, and then again 11 and I think it's 12, 11 and 14. So these two strings, and you can move that every 3 frets up a minor third and just repeat it. And you can mess around with that a little bit. So that's just a good way to extend fully diminished arpeggios, is to take the same pattern and just move it up 3 frets and do that over and over. And there I'm obviously doing it in triples and a little bit of sweep. So that's cool. And the next one that we do after that, you'll see, will be descending arpeggios, which will be. All right, which is always really fun to do. And then we'll do the, that's where we're going to come up this kind of whole tone scale slidey thing. So if you don't know what a whole tone scale is, you got a really weird sound. Of course, I'm going to drop D, that's not going to work there. But, all right, that's the way a whole tone sounds, and it's just 2 frets apart, 2 frets apart, 2 frets apart. One little neat trick that you can do is on the G and B. You can actually just do like 12, 14, 12, 14 on the G and B, and then move it up 2 frets. And get this really nice kind of whole tone sound and split up the scale. And this is where I'm going to do this really kind of fun slidey thing. And you'll see. All right, and then let's go ahead and put all that together. So again, our major arpeggio, which is going to be the C form. If you can see, this looks like a C chord. I don't know if it makes any sense. All right, and then our exotic scale, Phrygian dominant. Other one was going to be those diminished arpeggios. And then the last one was these minor arpeggios. So this is, if you don't know these forms, ask me about them. I mean, they're pretty easy to find. So that's typically when I teach arpeggios, I'll do it from the kind of 5-string variety, because that seems to split all the gaps of all the other ones. It makes them easier to learn. So really, I'm just doing what would look like a C minor or D minor. It's going to be shout out some frets here. So the A, it's going to be, what is it, 17. ding. It's just kind of fun to do that descending chromatic. All right, let's put all that together. So this is called Breathe, Transcend, and this is going to be super proggy here, but it's a cool song. That dominant arpeggio followed by the Phrygian dominant scale. I already lost on that. One time. Hard to get this stuff live. Middle arpeggios, I'm going to go back and show you those again right in the music. But you can tell every time I do this, I actually stack another diminished arpeggio on top of that. Something like that. All right, let's find that. arpeggio I started. All of it sounds crazy, and that's just the point of using arpeggios and exotic scales in that place. And so, why did I do there? Because it sounds freaking awesome. Like, why else would you do it? That doesn't, like. But on top of that, like we're giving it, not necessarily meaning, but it just has. It's this meat to it. Like I said, it's effective. It just works, and it creates the types of sounds and emotions that I want. I don't think it's necessarily like artistically singing these awesome melodic solos, which is sometimes I'll talk about that. Usually I'll typically say, oh, the best kind of solo is a melodic solo, something David Gilmour, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, in this case, that doesn't serve the song, something else I've talked about. And we're just looking for kind of crazy noises and fun to do. And the easiest place to do that over is dominant Phrygian. So really at this point, I'm probably going to be talking to one or two of my students late in their careers here. So you little bastards better have hung on this long and kept this up, because I actually did make this for you. I'm not even going to mention your name down there in Flower Mound and your little buddy down in Dallas. So, but yeah, you guys could do something really good, and I hope you take these lessons to heart. And really, that's who they're for, is just for my old students who I don't get to teach anymore, and wish I could still impart some lessons to them. But like financial times, everybody and all that stuff, COVID just fucking destroyed everything. So anyways, I'm going to jam this entire song one more time. It's a cool song. It'll be it's on my first album, actually. So, if you can find it, enjoy it. But this is a cool one. It's probably the most proggy thing I've ever written. Awesome beginning, though. Here we go. Thank you for hanging in there, and hopefully you enjoyed that. That is a song off my first album called Breathe, Transcend, and mostly I write music about freedom, liberation, celebrating the good things about America, which are getting fewer and further between, but there's still some good things about this place. And I think it's good that we sing about them, write songs about them, but I also want to write songs about liberation, spiritual liberation, and just breaking free of all this nonsense we're in today, but doing it in different kinds of ways. So if you enjoy Southern rock, you enjoy listening to people talk about robbing trains and the Wild West, then I'm your guy. Hopefully you can find my music, but good luck. Always be excellent to each other and party on. That's what I want to say.